Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Fun City GenCon stream. We are very, very excited to be here. Before we get into the business of talking about what we're going to be doing and introducing ourselves and talking a little bit about the game for people who might not be familiar, I want to give a shout out to Eric, who has been our pre-production person on this stream. We've been hanging out with Eric for the last 45 minutes, and Eric is a charmer, and we're all really big fans. So can we get a round of applause in the stream and in the chat for... Yeah. Okay. Everybody, very stream appropriate clap.
Yeah, I'm doing it under the table.
Yeah. Okay, great. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fun City GenCon stream. Like I said, we're very excited to be here. I'm going to describe what the game is in a moment, but first, we're just going to introduce ourselves. My name is Mike Rignetta. I am the GM of this game.
Hello, I'm Jen De La Vega. I'm a chef in Brooklyn, and I am going to be playing Viv.
Hi, I'm Bijan. I'm a writer, and at The Verge, I'm employed. Thank you. I play TK on the podcast.
Okay.
Rub it in.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I am Nick, also employed.
Oh, yeah.
This okay.
And I play...
Read the room.
This sucks. This really sucks.
Yeah, I feel bad. I was...
Good start
Nick,
to the
go
stream,
ahead.
everybody.
Set the pattern. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I could share my screen, right? I want to show my bank account and some of those checks coming in.
Yeah.
No, I am Nick, and I play Lux Scythe.
Is it me?
It's all you, Taylor.
Oh, great.
T.
I don't know how
Okay.
you guys know what order to go in. Hi. Hi. My name's Taylor Moore, and I play all the bad boys. And I mean it. You can follow me at taylor.biz and at usedjadeeggs.com, where we're selling all we clean them real good, and it's just all the used jade eggs from Southern California.
No.
You can find me there.
All right, shut the stream off. The show's over.
You said I could plug my shit. You said I could plug my stuff.
Mike, you did say he could plug this.
Yeah.
Said I could plug it. I mean, we do
It's your
wash them
fault.
real good.
Yeah.
And now I'll turn it over to Shannon Odell.
My name's Shannon. I'm a comedian and a scientist. I am the co-owner of the Jade Eggs business with Taylor, and you can find me at Showdell, and I play Lash.
So Fun City is a Shadowrun game. It is a podcast that we make together, and it takes place in New York City in the year 2101. If you are unfamiliar with Shadowrun, the basic premise is that over a number of years, corporations gained lots of control over the government and over basically every aspect of daily life, and are an ever-present pervasive force. There is extremely prevalent sort of futuristic technology, but also magic is reawakened in the world. So it is a combination of a kind of familiar cyberpunk setting as well as a familiar fantasy setting. So sorry, there's just some chats happening about the Jade Eggs. I think there's a business transaction that's occurring.
Nothing's happening. I was just giving some context, which is I said I hate / love when we yes and read the Jade Eggs.
So yeah, it is a familiar cyberpunk and fantasy setting all shoved into one another. The Fun City takes place, like I said, in New York City in 2101. I think the only thing that you really need to know if you're unfamiliar with the show is that the seas have risen and Brooklyn is now an archipelago of islands. Did I miss anything? Anybody wants to add? No? Okay, great. Let's get started. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So our game opens on and in the Brooklyn archipelago, a loosely federated series of land masses left half sunk in the rising tides of the Atlantic Ocean. We are on a place that you have never been on before in this game, Greenwood Island, so named for the Greenwood Cemetery, which was and is in the year 2101. It still remains the highest point in Brooklyn. This is a large, unlandscaped mass. The cemetery is home to numerous public and funerary facilities, including over 600,000 grave sites like those of Leonard Bernstein, Boss Tweed, and of course, Taylor Swift, for whom new land was grafted onto the island to accommodate her private mausoleum in 2082.
Good for her.
You killed Taylor Swift?
No, in a very long life. She had a very long life.
Yeah, I think she would have lived until she was like 96.
That's good.
The team, you all are here on Greenwood Island for a party, a dance party.
Whoa.
Okay.
Over the last several months, everyone in New York City has been stuck. I've been wondering how many shows in the streams this weekend are going to do this. You've been stuck inside.
Okay.
Some unchecked facial recognition algorithms caused a series of critical malfunctions in the city's automated enforcement protocols, and all of a sudden, every camera on the public grid was charging whoever's face it could catch with felonious assault, armed robbery, grand larceny, and it started dispatching cars and, even worse, drones to their location. So anybody who absolutely had to go outside, and it was very much recommended that you stay inside, had to wear a mask and large specialized glasses to thwart all of the facial recognition all around the city. Luckily, this weekend, after 3 months, that is all over, and it is finally safe to go outside. No fear of a rogue police drone charging you with copyright infringement for having your own face and then tasing you on the spot. So to celebrate, your pal Yuri decided to throw a party.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All right, Yuri.
Hey, it's me, Yuri. This is I don't often leave voicemail for you. Most of the time, I just give you a job and expect you to, do some work from me. But now I want to hang out as just friend, and so I leave voicemail. Now we can go outside, the algorithm back normal, drone not tase me for looking like old-time movie star or TV man. So drone dead, I throw a big dance party. Come, show your face. Don't wear mask. We not wear mask. Come outside today. Come dance with me. Nice.
It's increasingly louder, more distorted and unhinged as the message goes on. So here you are. You have all attended Yuri's party, of course. Who's going to say no to Yuri? You are on Greenwood Island in the Greenwood catacombs, which is a 300-foot-long tunnel of white stone. It's like this long hallway that's set into the side of a hill. The entrance is in a small clearing that's surrounded by hills, and it's directly next to this large and elaborate fountain that's depicting an angel freeing this androgynous human-like figure from a set of heavy shackles. It is incredibly goth. The catacombs are low and they're labyrinthine. The ceilings are low. There are lots of doors and lots of hallways lined in stone cut into the side of this hill. There are the rooms are, there are some tables and some chairs and benches, and they're lit by candles and dull flickering LED lights, and they are filled with people. It is packed. The tunnel is crowded. The rooms are crowded. It's summer. It's late. It's hot. It's sweaty. It's loud. If you could please imagine just like very loud club dance music playing in a tiny tube shoved into the ground. There's a DJ all the way at the other end of the main central hallway, dramatically lit by pulsating lights. This is the first time people have been out in weeks, so they're like having a great time, going nuts. It's like 2:30 in the morning. You all have been here for like at least 2 or 3 hours. What are you all up to at this rager?
Yeah, TK is definitely drunk in a corner, looking at his hand, like sort of like doing the grapple thing, but only like a few feet, like just a few feet in front of him. Like he's like grappling onto chairs and like sliding them closer. He's vibing. He's having a great time, but he's not talking to anybody.
And could you all also, just in case, just for the folks who might not know the show, describe what your character looks like?
Oh,
and kind of
right.
Just generally what their deal is?
Yes. Yeah, so TK is a decker, which means that he's the Matrix guy. The Matrix is also the internet in Shadowrun. So he's like a good hacker, sort of. And he's also a former boxer. So he likes punching things. But, he's like getting on in his age, and he's got a metal arm, which he's outfitted with a grapple hand. So yeah, he's just vibing in a corner, like sipping on some drinks. He's very excited that no one has asked him to do anything.
Except chill out.
Except chill out.
Go ahead.
Lash is she's walking back. She has just lost a bet in typical Lash fashion. So Lash is a 6-foot orc. She's a technomancer. That means she's kind of like a magician of the Matrix in Shadowrun. She's young. She's 19. She's a jock. That's kind of her thing. And she's also tends to, not really think her decisions through. So she just lost a bet where she bet this guy that she could race him the length of the hallway, and she lost, and she's pretty bummed about it. It's probably because she also ran a lot in the boat during the whole kind of quarantine,
Sure.
which everyone loved. So she's been tired a lot because she's been.
You were just doing laps. You're saying you were doing laps around the Mrs. Egg for the last 3 months.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay,
that's basically what she's been doing. I mean, so she's kind of disoriented. So she's walking back to the group and is kind of a little dejected.
Viv is a 145-year-old elf. She's wearing like fish scale breeches and like a red corset, and she's arguing with a spilled drink. She's arguing with a puddle, and she's gesticulating and being like, fine, take them back. And she drops like a handful of like seashells. Viv is the magic user of the group, and her mentor spirit is the sea, and so she occasionally is talking to water. If she gets out of control, the water tries to discipline her. So Mother thinks that she had a little too much to drink, and she's asking for penance back.
Lux is the team's face in Shadowrun. This is the person with a high charisma. He's a con man. He is great at making disguises and impersonating people, negotiating, and even sneaking, if you could believe it. And he is talking right now at the bar with a very tall, statuesque elven woman, and telling her about the great times he's actually had for the last few months. Lux has been unimpacted by the events. He could look like anyone he wants, and the person he's chosen to look like is... Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. The person Lux has chosen to look like has been his contractor, a person he doesn't like, who's been working on his condo for the last several months, maybe over a year at this point.
It's been a year.
And not happy with the work that's been going on. It's why he's living on the boat with the crew. And he imagines a lot of notifications and warrants and things have been going his way. Lux is very satisfied with himself, and he's hoping the elven woman will be as entertained by this, his rascally nature and a little prank that he's pulled as he is.
So you pretended to be a man that teaches blow dart classes in apartments that aren't his.
Yeah.
In the hopes that that drones would tase him.
Yes.
That's pretty fair.
It is. And did I tell you he's not supposed to be teaching those blow dart classes in my condo?
Oh, that was implied, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard from him. I'm hoping they didn't do anything too bad to him, but do I feel bad about it? No. Can I get you another drink?
This will be fun for the canon game to figure out whether or not Rick Jones is now in jail.
Rick Jones.
Way to use the stream game to your grander narrative advantage. Great. So you all are going about your business at this rager of a party that Yuri has thrown, and as happens during the night, the drinks line tends to come in waves. It gets quiet and crowded all at once. And so you all decide that it's time to get a refill of, maybe some seawater, maybe some Gatorade, who knows, all at the same
milk.
time.
Does this party have milk?
It definitely has adult milk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hot milk.
And you all sort of like end up near one another, like kind of waiting in line to get something to drink, just on the inside of the catacomb in the bar room blob that has been carved out of this hill. And as you are all there hanging out, Yuri, who is a large, friendly man from an unspecified former block country for whom you often work, he sees you all together, and he approaches you.
My friends, huh? Trying out new way to relate to you as just friends. I'm so glad you're here.
Yuri, I love it. I love this side of you. I'm so drunk. Love it.
Yeah,
Yuri.
Go ahead.
It's great to see you.
It's great to see you. Yuri is like a 45-year-old white guy, but like gray button-up shirt, soaked in sweat. Maybe used to be shiny, hard to tell. Maybe he's been hugging someone with body glitter on. Top 5 buttons undone, 2 chains, indecipherable amulets, like long sort of lion's mane, salt and pepper hair. I pay you to work so much, and the work you do is so good. Excuse me if I am too familiar or affectionate. I take pill that a young person give me, and boy, the risks make life worthwhile. I am so tired of being home alone with just Hector to keep me friend. It is so great to be outside with you. I love you.
Where
we
is
love
Hector?
You too, Yuri.
Hector is on the dance floor right
and
now, like
tearing it up.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hector's an 8-foot tall minotaur who is just like clearing a zone on the dance floor, like a whirling dervish. He's a very dangerous man when he's making his moves. I'm so glad you could come. Maybe you come over for just social event at my house sometime. Just us. Are you having good time? You want to drink?
Having a great time.
TK's just nodding.
As Yuri is waiting for your answers, you can see there are a bunch of different people who are rolling by. There's someone on a unicycle who's juggling. There's a man in one of those cow suits, but then you realize it's not a cow suit. It's like some weird holographic projection of a cow suit that's around his body. And then you see a woman who is blowing fire and is like juggling things.
You like?
This is good, Yuri. Where did you find these people?
I find the same place I find you. I'm not going to tell where I find you. If I tell where I find, yes, on the Matrix, same place.
Yes.
I find everything.
Yes.
You're not the only people work for Yuri. I have other people. I have a boy on one wheel stick. I have woman who look like statue. Looks met her. I have this man have fishbowl on head. It's weird.
He's gesturing at a man dressed like an astronaut.
Where he going? To moon? And look, this is my favorite. She do element stuff. Dolores. You're gonna love her.
He gestures at the woman who's breathing fire, and she when Yuri shouts her name, she rolls her eyes a little bit and like comes over, and she walks up to him and she's like, "Hey Yuri, you having a good night?"
Yeah, I'm sorry I call you Dolores. I get you confused with water elemental trick doer at party on other side of room now. This is Katya.
Hey, Katya, I'm Lux.
Hi, friends. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Sure.
Katya. Look, these are very important friends of mine. They do very secret shadow job for me. Let's just say they do not walk in sunshine. They run in shadows, Katya.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Understand.
I
Smart.
get it. Yeah.
Katya smart. Katya like you. Katya know how to do magic and things. Katya, do my favorite trick. Katya.
And she like sort of rolls her eyes again and puts her hand up and says like, "Wait a minute," and like walks out to the edge of the catacombs. You can see she bends down, like puts her hands on the ground, does something, and comes back. And she's got 2 handfuls of dirt, and she like throws the dirt in your faces.
Ah!
Except it never actually hits you. Like she sort of freezes mid-gesture, and when she stops moving, the dirt stops in midair, and she starts to move her hands slowly and to sort of like make these little motions, and the dirt kind of turns as a cube in the air and collects into the picture of a horse. And then the horse, a little man comes out of it, and then the horse starts to gallop, and she like moves her hands a little bit, and the man on the galloping horse turns into what looks like a clown bouncing a big ball, and she like moves it back and forth, and it bounces the ball all around you and in between you, and she moves her hands a little bit more, and it turns into a picture of her, like her shape, blowing fire. Except the fire is dirt, and she blows it directly into Yuri's face.
And he catches it in his mouth, and he's like, I like new textures in mouth. Just decide. I just decide I want different textures in mouth. Is it that great trick?
And she like gives a little bow, and she's like, always happy to attend any of your functions, Yuri. And then she looks at you, Lux, and she says, I do corporate gigs if you ever need anything to spice up your board meetings.
Yeah.
And you get a little ping on your comm that's like, Katya Demerara wants to send you her contact info.
Lux accepts. He quickly names it fire breather / will throw dirt in mouth.
Nice.
Thanks. I'll let you know. Enjoy your night.
You do. Yeah, you too. And she like goes off and hangs out with the dude that's wearing the cow uniform but hologram.
Viv sidles up with her drink, pulling it up to her mouth and like going, I can do that.
Lots of people think dirt magic is not fun. I think we all now disagree with the people I just invented to
you've made converts of us. You really have.
You all hear a very, very loud popping sound. There is a near deafening pop that comes from just on the other side of the catacombs, just on the outside. And if you all like head out, like follow the rush of people who are like going to go see what it is, you can see that there's been like something has happened on some part of the island that's not too far off. You can see a tall, bright purple puff of smoke off in the distance, like a bright light that's lighting up this plume, and then it slowly dims.
I need to sit down a minute. Bye.
Yuri takes a seat on the edge of that fountain that I described, like just sort of like wide-eyed. It's dark, so maybe only Viv can see that. His pupils are maybe even slightly bigger than his irises.
Just for the record, he's on a drug called Hextasy. Just came up with it.
I love it. Write it down. We're gonna want to use that after this.
Save that.
I will not.
That.
I won't.
Wait,
just
Mike. How far away is the purple plume?
Maybe like a couple 100 yards, probably.
Okay.
And as like a bunch of the music stops, people are filing out of the catacombs to come see what this loud sound was. And then you start to hear this quiet kind of crackling sound, like a chittering sound. And it's pretty dim and dull at first, and pretty like it's not very dense. And over the next couple seconds, it gets denser and denser, like more and more of this crackling, chittering sound. And it gets louder and louder. So not only more dense, but louder, until you start to see coming over the range of the little hills that are on all sides of this little clearing that you're in with the fountain, this dull glow of green that emanates from the ridge. And it gets brighter and brighter as the sound gets louder and louder. And then over the top on all sides of the ridge come manifested devil rats.
No.
I don't like rats. Critters
from the astral plane that have been made material and are apparently scared off from wherever they were on Greenwood Island, wherever they were hanging out. It seems like the pop or the explosion, whatever, just pushed them in this direction, and they come just careening down that hill, a wave of them. And they are in the fountain around, and they're like, devil rats are big. They're like the size of a small dog.
Like
this is not-
capybaras.
like capybara size.
Oh,
Maybe a little bit like
Capybaras, but worse.
but flatter. Yeah, and definitely
Flatter.
that is cute.
not
Yeah.
nearly as chill. Yeah.
Yeah.
No yuzu, no hot tubs in sight.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh,
Yeah, no, one of the devil rats gets in the fountain, somehow manages to find a yuzu and put it on its head, and then
Yeah,
Cute.
but
Yeah.
only in like an ironic, sassy way
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
fun of the idea of a chill-in.
yeah, exactly.
It's an ironic.
Yeah, it's
I
ironic.
don't
It's
like-
mean.
TK doesn't like. Yeah, I don't
The
like when
rest
the
of
rats
them-
are sarcastic. They're rats.
These rats are sarcastic. They are running around. They fill up the catacombs, and sure enough, like as you can imagine, the minute they go in, everybody who did not come out is just leaving and trying to get away from these terrible, gross, huge rat creatures, stepping over them, trying to just dance around them. Even Hector, who was having the best time, is like dancing, trying to like not kick a devil rat, but also is very mad that his good time has been interrupted. And he comes out and he's like, what's going on? Like, how did this happen? Something's going on.
Mike, is there a chandelier?
There is, sure, yeah. Let's say at the midpoint of the catacombs, there can be a chandelier that they have installed.
As soon
Are
as
you
TK sees a rat, he grapple hands up to the chandelier and is just hanging. And he's shaking his head. He's like, no.
No, just no. You guys look over at Yuri. I mean, Yuri looks like he's still having a great time. It's a very complicated set of emotions. Having a great time, but also very upset.
Manifested devil rats. Why it have be manifest devil rats? Lash, listen to me.
Yeah. Are these some of your friends, or did you hire them for the party? Because I do not think people like these things.
You think I hire manifest devil rats to
Yuri?
ruin party?
No, I thought maybe some people like them.
Look at boy on the one wheel stick. He cry.
Oh yeah,
I love
he's
Mickey.
The
crying.
guy on the unicycle is bawling.
I not make cry. Hector said, Lash, listen to me.
Yeah.
You are clock now. You not clock before, now you clock. Back to work time for you.
Clock.
You punch in, time to clock.
Oh,
Listen,
I see. Oh,
one-
it's time to work. Is that what you're saying?
Nah, nah.
Oh, clock. Got it.
Yeah, you clock. You clock.
He's kind of like panting a little bit.
He's sweating a lot, and he's looking for something to chew on. You on clock now. Listen. I go and put new texture in my mouth, but you do one Shadowrun for me. Go find out where rat come from and save my party. Get all your friends, but especially Viv. You understand?
Yeah. I
Okay,
guess
yes,
she's kind of
know.
the one that makes everything work.
Yeah, if TK not want to go, TK not have to go. He can stay at Chandelier. But you especially get the one that can blow people up, and you go find where rats come from and you deal with it. And then
Yuri,
he just puts a big rock in his mouth.
we will not let you down.
He gets in the fountain and then goes down to level and then takes the yuzu off of the devil rat and puts it on his head.
Listen, team.
Lux is can't hear you because he's underneath the chandelier. He has to constantly explain to TK that just because he has a grapple hand doesn't mean he has a way to get down from high places he gets up to, because you can't grapple down against gravity. It just will just fall.
And TK, we always have this argument. He's like, yes, it goes both ways. You can.
I've never seen it go the other way.
Unspools. And I guess we're yelling this.
This is an extremely Lux and TK interaction right now.
Yeah.
And TK, he comes down.
Oh, he comes down
a little
slowly.
bit, just very slowly, and he's like, "See, I told you I could do it."
Okay, I didn't know that's how it worked.
Yeah, I just do it.
Lash moseys over and she's like, "Hey, team, Viv, you want to come over here?"
And she's sitting on the bar, like with her feet dangling, and be like, I
It's okay. It's okay. I could just yell it loud so y'all can hear. Okay.
What do you need?
Turns
And the
out
rats.
you're.
Good. Go.
It turns out Yuri did not hire these rats to come and do entertainment at the party. Just found out.
Do
Yeah,
you know
Lash, we
someone
know.
that would hire rats for a party?
Listen, guys.
I mean,
have not-
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know what kind
Makes
of parties people throw. Thank you, TK. But it turns out Yuri's going to need us to go find where these rats came from and clean them up.
Clean up the rats?
Clean up the situation.
Oh,
and
I
get
see.
them to
Okay.
stop.
Yeah.
I did not negotiate price because normally that's the thing you do, Lux. And I'm kind of just realizing it
Did you
right
panic?
now.
Lash, did you panic? Did you panic again?
You know, I didn't want to be rude and just
We talked about this.
talk numbers. I don't know. Maybe
You didn't get a promise of eggs?
I didn't get a promise of anything.
Oh,
Okay, that's what I
Yes.
thought.
So the closest clue that you have at the moment is the big plume of smoke, and that's like a couple 100 yards north. It's starting to fade right now, but you can very easily see in the direction that it came from. You could tag something using your comm links in AR so that you have a little sort of button to follow.
TK tags it and then calls Henley.
I mean, you're on
island.
Yeah, you're on Greenwood Island, so I think Henley's probably back on
Mike?
Manhattan.
Mike,
You don't know enough about Henley, Mike.
I feel like you're wrong about where Henley is. Henley, the car that can be a boat and has legs.
No cars allowed on Greenwood, man. It's a
Okay.
cemetery. It's
That's fine. It's a
disrespectful.
cemetery. That makes
Yeah.
sense. All right. So he calls
Hallowed
Henley and is
ground.
like, and Henley's like, can't. This is out of bounds.
Yeah.
Henley's
Sorry.
off at Henley's own Rager,
Yes.
just for cars with legs.
Wait,
Yeah.
did the cars
I
have
bet
to wear a
Gabe-
mask as well?
Absolutely.
Is Gabe there too?
Gabe is
feel
at Gabe is at the party. Yes, he was helping he was going to DJ next.
And
Yep.
this is how we segue into the Cars universe.
Yeah, I guess Antika's like, I guess, guys, all right. I guess we gotta. I mean, let's take care of these rats. This feels like a quest. I don't like that. But what else are we gonna do?
Okay. I think we just do this. We make a little money. The party's over anyway. I'm
It's
down.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I do not know if we're going to make money, but I assume we will.
Yeah. I'll talk to him about it.
Behind this conversation, the rats are tearing into some people.
like
There's screaming and blood on the floor.
Oh no. Viv swigs the rest of her seawater and says, "Okay, let's go outside."
So you guys head in the direction of
Yes.
the explosion.
Yeah.
Bijan, I'll level with you. I'll trade you one. You go up over the ridge, and between here and there is a lake. This island is big enough that it actually has a recursive lake on it.
Yes.
This is an island with a lake, and in the island, sure, why not another island? But on the edge of it, there is a groundskeeper's boat that is unattended. If you wanted to have a little vehicular journey across the water in a boat,
Yeah. TK spots a boat and says, "I'll go first," and grapples to the nearest tree.
you bionic
And then-
commando across the
Yeah.
landscape.
And he does this just to show off. Like he's like, I bought this thing. It's good.
Why not?
Every
And also, I want to make them jealous. I want to make Lash jealous.
Yeah, every time TK does it, Lash says, "That's freaking awesome."
We're gonna get you some roller skates so that you can grapple and then.
Yeah, that's cool.
Viv sees the boat and is like, TK, it's another opportunity for meditation. Remember what we did on Prospect Beach?
No, I forgot.
He's really
Very
drunk right now.
Yeah.
Very drunk right now.
So you cross a little bit of land. The Greenwood Cemetery is very like it is now, is sort of forested. It's a very like unfinished, unlandscaped plot of land. So there are hills. There's a lot of thickets of trees. These big rocks. It's got a very sort of bucolic, pastoral parkland feel to it. So you grapple between some trees. Everybody else walks like a normal person to the nearby boat, and you go across this lake on an island that also has an island. I'm gonna roll to see if anything bothers you. No, okay. I was gonna give you. If you got a 1, you were gonna get molested by something, but you got a 5. You see a large spectral dolphin underneath the lake. There's that just like hangs out down there, I guess, and there's a jostle and a ripple as you go across this water, but you just hear a dull, or whatever sound a dolphin makes.
Viv is putting her hands over the water and being like,
that was a
Chewbacca.
that was like a Chewbacca sound.
It was a spectral.
That was
Chewbacca.
a Wookiee sound.
Yeah.
As they're passing by the dolphin, Viv has her hands over the water and be like, "May you enjoy mother's embrace. May you enjoy mother's embrace."
And that's why it
meditate.
didn't bother you. It could sense that there was a disciple of the sea that was aboard the vessel.
Nice.
Okay, yeah. So you get across, and you can see now that you've covered a little bit of ground and you have some vantage, that the explosion probably came from like a dully lit house. Like you can see some sort of building that is on the island, some sort of piece of architecture that you can tell from very far away that there's people inside of it, but that's kind of all you can tell. And there is Viv, you have night vision, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you would be able to see that there's basically like a path that leads up to it.
Cool. She leads the way. But I guess before they get there, she would like to sense.
Oh, please do.
Yeah. Let's see. Sensing is trying to detect magic or people. She got 4 hits.
This place is lousy with magic. There's a lot going on. The house specifically, if that's what you're focusing on, yes, there are multiple magic presences there, and some of them are very powerful.
Oh. Do we know the nature of them?
You can you're a little bit far away, so it might be like you can't get a ton of detail, but there are at least 3 magic users that are there, and they know what they're doing. They're pretty accomplished. And they're engaged in something. You can't really tell what it is. There's also a lot of other people who are not awakened who are there. They're just like a bunch of people around.
Viv is squinting into the night and just says, "I think there's another party."
Oh yeah, bro.
As you're squinting into the night, trying to figure out what it is that's going on at this house, you actually hear some footsteps coming up from the other end of the path, from like behind. I don't really know which way you're facing, but like if you're on the path, it's somewhat behind you. If you're standing off to the side of the path, it's like slightly to your left. You hear the dull buzzing of some drones. And they're definitely police drones. This is a sound that you know very well from the news over the last 3 months. Like these are exactly the thing that has been tormenting everybody. And you hear 3 voices approaching. Do you guys want to get out of the way, or do you want to stand in the middle of the path and confront them?
TK whispers, "Grapple a hand," and then grapples toward a tree, away from them.
Okay, all right.
All right. Viv dives into a bush.
Like I love this bionic commando subplot.
Yeah. Lash joins Viv in the bush. I don't know if she's really bush sized, but that's what she saw first.
Like bright silver hair poking up out of the top.
Yeah.
Of the...
Yeah.
Her green body kind of poking it through.
He's right, yeah.
So as you're hiding, you hear 3 voices, and the one that you can hear the most clearly is a sort of like young man, and he's like, "Oh man, what do you think we missed it already?"
Yeah, and then you hear another voice, and it sounds like it's coming from a much bigger person. Have we already missed it already? Pedro, are you serious? Listen, I let you come along on this job because it's going to make us incredibly rich and powerful.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Don't ruin this by being an uncool jerk, okay, man?
I got a little excited. I know. Okay, all right.
Are you gonna be cool?
No, I don't know if any of you can see this because it's done, but he tries to get a real serious face, but he's like this tiny little guy, and like is clearly very excited about the thing that he is doing.
Are they walking towards the magic house?
Yeah, so they
Okay.
are they're walking towards you, and let's say they're like, as they come into view, you can see that this is definitely 3 NYPD incorporated officers, and they are tailed by 2 drones that are at sort of like chest height. And they are it's like really hot, so they're not in their full uniform. They're in sort of standard issue t-shirts, but they do still have their belts with their batons and tasers, and they're wearing work shoes and work pants. The big guy is like sort of gesturing at the house as he's describing like being cool. And the third person that's there is this sort of like very tall, skinny, almost like ruler straight, severe looking man with a buzz cut. He's just sort of like quietly listening. And the young guy goes, I mean, do you think they, I mean, yes, it's very, very cool. And I will not agree with you that I'm very lucky to be here. Do you think they're going to be able to do it?
Okay. The tall one speaks up and responds. Of course they'll be able to do it. Don't you know anything? Wait, does he not know?
Yeah, why? I mean, I understand that you guys like think this guy's really cool, but like, why was he so important? Why do they have to
mouth. Shut your mouth right now. Okay? We are not talking about a guy that was really cool. Wait, have you not told him everything? No, I haven't told him everything. Tell him now. I think we're safe. And the tall one taps a little amulet that's hanging from their neck. All right, listen to me. We're not talking about just any undead, okay? We are talking about W.D. Gann. Do you know W.D. Gann? Did you read the links I sent you?
I mean, I gave him a once over.
Okay, all right.
He was like an economist of I don't know.
Right, but not just an economist.
Viv is clutching Lash's arm in the bush, like,
Yeah.
Pedro, he was awakened before the awakening, my man. He understood that astrology was real and that it could be used for power. Yeah, and his power of choice was money. A lot of money, Pedro. He was a stock trader in the 20th century. He used astrology to predict the flows of the market and commodities trading. Once we awaken him, once the brethren from Aztechnology awaken him, he will be able to give us wealth and power unimagined until today. Are you ready, Pedro? Pedro, are you ready? Pedro, is your Zoom frozen?
oh, I think he is frozen.
Pedro is on the path.
Come back, Pedro.
Shaking. Pedro is shaking on the path, and you see a trail of urine pouring out. And he's
Pedro is 14 years old.
Pedro, muted by fear.
Down.
Pedro says,
They slap Pedro. Wake up.
Apologies. My computer just turned off, like with no warning in the middle of Taylor talking. It just went black and then showed me a login screen.
Everybody's a critic.
Where did you guys leave off? The last thing I heard was when Aztechnology resurrects him.
He'll make us more powerful and wealthy than you can possibly imagine for this one night of service. Pedro, are you in?
I mean, yeah, I'm I would be stupid to not be in. This sounds amazing. I mean, I'm
play it cool.
And he like squares his shoulders and like starts to try to walk like these two guys.
Don't say anything bad about the moon. These guys love the moon.
I mean, why would anybody say? I got it. Okay, cool. All right,
Pedro?
sure. Yeah. Okay, yeah. The moon is dope. The moon is dope.
Let's roll.
And they just keep walking. And they walk towards the house on the pathway by you guys. Your call. What do you want to do?
I think. Go ahead.
Aztechnology and the NYPD together. Interesting.
TK sort of like comes down out of the tree and is still hanging, but he's descending very slowly. It's like, did you guys hear that?
Yeah. Viv is pulling
Yeah.
branches out of Lash's hair and being like, I'd never heard of such a thing.
Well, if you've never heard it, that seems like that's bad. That's very bad.
While this is going on, Lash kind of views these guys walking slightly out of view, and she goes and takes out her blow dart and tries to hit the really tall one because he's the biggest target.
Okay, yeah, Rhea, roll it, sure.
Viv dives across the path into another bush.
And it is, she gets, first roll, sorry.
I mean, I'm going to say that this is just like a threshold that like he doesn't know this is coming. He's not going to dodge it. Yeah, if you get it's dark though. You don't have night vision, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, get 5. Like this is you have to basically get lucky.
All right, she got 2 hits.
Yeah, let me see if the drones hear anything.
Oh no.
Has Lash ever successfully blow darted? No,
Never.
No.
Successfully blow darted Viv once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you hear like, there's the rest of the team from, Viv, the only one who can really very easily see in the dark, sees a blowgun come out of a bush and like angle from side to side.
Why?
And then everybody hears thunk. And then you hear some leaves rustle and the impact of a dart in the side of a tree. Thunk. But you don't connect with any people, and luckily the drones don't hear you, so they don't come to try to tase your face.
Lux steps out from behind that tree, which was 6 inches from his face, with a very stern look for Lash.
So they're getting closer to the house, and it's a very short walk from here, and they're you can see that they're.
Let's just follow him, guys. Like,
Yeah.
we're
Yep.
Yeah.
Lux, do you want to like sneak up ahead?
Yeah, sure. Lux says, I'm gonna sneak up ahead. And,
I'm not the boss of you. I just we were all talking about how surprised we were that you were so sneaky. I want to give you a chance to sneak.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think while he's doing this, TK tries to hack one of the drones.
Oh sure, yeah.
Just to see, like, to get, like, not to do anything, but just to get in and like see what's going on.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So TK like grapples back up the tree and like gets comfortable in a branch, flips into VR, and tries to hack on the fly. Let me roll this up.
Yeah.
Lux is
4 hits.
going. What'd you get?
4 hits. 4 hits.
The drone also got 4 hits. So tie goes to the
you know where that? Yeah, you know where that tie goes, baby.
You got one. It's only 1 mark, though. Like the way that we're doing marks.
Yeah,
I mean, like a net hit. But that means you can drive it around.
TK just wants to like be in the. He doesn't want to do anything yet. He just wants to like have eyes and ears on what's going on.
I think I might make you do another test to get eyes and ears. But
if I can, okay, yeah.
But as of right now, you can fly it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. TK's not flying. He's just letting the drone do its thing.
Okay, great.
But he's already in. He's already in.
Okay.
He knows he's in.
You can.
So he tells the guys,
can take control at some point if you want to.
He tells everyone, "I'm in," but he sends it as a text message for some reason. Like he doesn't say this out loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are, they're getting up to the house, and they're talking to the bouncer, and the bouncer that's in front of the house, like you can see a sort of distant human form. If you guys are following up behind them, Lux, if you want to sneak, just let me know what your sneak roll is.
Yeah, I just want to sneak close enough and quick enough to be able to catch their interaction with the bouncer.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Just roll sneak for me. Really?
Yeah, that's going to be agility +6, so that's 10.
I think you're probably going to do fine.
And I think I'm probably going to do fine. This is actually not a skill I've pre-rolled. But I got 2 hits.
Okay, that's fine. I just didn't want you to glitch. Okay. You get up slightly ahead of the group, and you can see that there's this old sort of like 2 or 3 story, almost like Dutch Gothic chapel that's been turned into a house. You can kind of see through some of the windows. It's got a nice wood exterior. There's a bunch of old brick. It's got these very skinny and dramatic windows with these big spires that reach up to the sky. It's very warmly lit from the inside. This like dull amber light. You can see people milling around with drinks in their hands. You can also see through it that like there's something happening in the backyard. It's kind of hard to tell, but like there's also another group of people all the way through the house and then outside. The security, the like person, the bouncer in front of the house that's letting people in, has a very short interaction with the 3 police officers. They basically walk up, say a couple words, and the bouncer reaches over and opens the door and lets them in. Could you roll either perception or memory, whichever is more dice?
Yeah. So I have photographic memory, which means
never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Lux,
Yeah.
you recognize the bouncer immediately. It's Chester from the ball pit.
Yay!
Yes.
Oh my God, he's a bouncer too. All right, great. Sweet. So I go back to the group and I say, "Yep, it's Chester."
Chester?
Just
Our
what you thought all along.
Chester.
It's Chester. Yeah. It's the kind of the cowboy type guy that served us the milk at the ball pit.
Oh, does he have juice boxes this
how
time?
could we forget?
No, he's not serving drinks. He's actually working the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be an easy door. Let's freaking go.
Yeah. Wait, did Chester like us?
I'm pretty
late now.
sure he did.
Okay, good.
If I'm
The flash
remembering
is sore,
correctly,
then we're going.
he liked us.
I
great.
like this tactic of metagaming the DMs of being like, I'm sure this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Viv is walking behind because she remembers that first interaction about the milk.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you guys head up to the front door of the house, and it's gonna take Chester might take a moment to place you, but you can see Chester, and over time Chester can see you.
Hey there, Chester.
Well, hello. Oh, wait a minute. I believe I know you. You're friends of Gabriel's.
Absolutely. How's it going? It's been a while since we've seen each other.
It's been a long time. How was your quarantine?
I actually didn't do that. Did you
Everything's going great for me.
Yeah. Are you still working at the ball pit?
No, I'm bouncing now. But I like to think about I like to think of bouncing as the bartender of doors. And people seem to appreciate my welcoming but firm demeanor.
Right, because you serve doors to people out of
Really one specific door, but
yeah.
The way I think of it is the glass is like the door, and the space that you're moving to is like the drink in the glass.
That's awesome.
Bartender
That's
of
deep,
doors.
bro. That's deep.
This is great. This should be a book.
I'm actually working on a.
All right, Taylor. Okay. All right.
I told Mike to pull the cord. At some point, one of my NPCs threatened to describe his screenplay or novella. I'm getting the rhymes. The claxons are going off in my apartment. You can't hear it. Okay. All right. Well, bouncer's code. If you see somebody you remember, you've got to let them in.
I know that. Code, yeah.
Don't embarrass me, kids.
All right. Thanks so much, Chester.
Good luck to you. And he creaks open the door, and there's a party inside.
The interior of this place. Who's up front?
I would
Probably Lux if Lux
Yeah.
was just talking to Chester.
Yeah.
This place is real fancy. It's very well appointed. It's a very old house, and it's been kept up very, very nicely. the people in here are very rich. They're wearing very nice clothing. They're all drinking champagne, and they are all having like quiet conversation. There's some quiet music playing, and they all seem kind of excited. None of them see you when you get in, and what you also notice is that a good number of them are wearing the same kind of robe. It's this dull purple, almost like velvety kind of robe that's very billowy. It's got a big hood. Not a lot of people are wearing the hood, but there are a bunch of people who have it on, and there are a bunch of those cloaks right next to the door if you would like to don one.
Lux does don one.
Yeah. Because TK's wearing tactical gear and is like, it's not going to fit in. It's just not going to work.
I think, Lux might blend in uncloaked, and Viv might blend in uncloaked. Lash and TK could go either way. Your call.
Lash feels right at home.
Great,
but
cool. I love it.
But she whispers to Lex, you know people here?
I doubt it, Lash. Here, put this on.
Does it fit? It's Lash.
Is there a big one?
Yeah, they're pretty baggy. Yeah, you could. Okay, it fits over your massive shoulders.
Yeah.
You could probably Hulk through it if you really wanted to.
She doesn't.
For later.
So, there's all kinds of stuff around. There's like a bunch of things hanging on the walls, like the sorts of stuff that you would imagine is in a old, fancy, maybe slightly magic house. Crossed swords, some shields, the heads of some animals. There's some hors d'oeuvres over in the kitchen up that's sort of up and to the right. There's someone walking around handing out champagne. And now that you're all inside, you can clearly see what's happening in the back. There's a row of glass doors, and they've all been opened and pushed to the side. They're like accordion doors. And there is a very brightly lit garden in the back of this place that is enclosed. There's a tall stone wall that's covered in moss and vines and stuff. And you can see that there is a kind of more dense group of people back there. Including 3 people who are wearing very bright, much more sort of like dramatic and ornate. There's a lot of thread work and there's a lot of patterning on it. These like similar cloaks, and they're all talking to one another with a very serious look on their face. And you can hear, if you sort of eavesdrop on some of the conversations, some people are like, "Do you think they're going to be able to do it? Do you think are they going to? I mean, the explosion didn't really give me a lot of confidence, but like everybody says these guys are the best. Do you think they're gonna do it right?"
The explosion was kind of a moment of doubt for me. I agree.
It was, yeah. I mean, but these guys, they come very highly recommended.
But there was no trigger warning about the explosion.
That is true, and it is.
And maybe that's not their fault because maybe they didn't know, but if they knew there was a possibility, they should have said something.
You never.
Lux is leaning in to hear this. Do they notice Lux leaning in?
No, everybody's very engrossed in their own stuff. You can wander around at your pleasure.
Lux turns to Viv and says, Viv, I think they're trying to bring a dead guy back. Is that ever a problem?
I've never experienced anything like that. I've always just had to deal with corporate cleanup. I've never had to deal with cemeteries. And she's reluctantly putting on a robe because it's not of her practice, because she is really uncomfortable in it. And she's just muttering about the moon. I guess it's important for waves and stuff, but
do you guys just sort of like mill around?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say Lash does a matrix perception test.
Yeah.
She got 3 hits.
These people have very fancy comm links on them. Most of them have some of the most expensive state-of-the-art gear that you've ever seen. There are some people that have non-obvious cyber implants, but for the most part, there's like pretty rudimentary security in this place. There's nothing really out of the ordinary.
Okay.
What are this? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say TK is looking for that drone that he's in. Like he's like has control over.
The Yeah, the 3 police and the 2 drones have gone straight to the back, and they are standing kind of silently and looking kind of tough around those 3 people in the slightly different purple robes talking to one another.
Perfect.
Jen, you were gonna
TK.
ask... Oh, sorry, good.
Okay, I was gonna say TK finds the drone, nods, and then tells everyone, "I'm going to the bar," and goes to the bar and puts his hood up. He's like,
Okay.
Feels like it makes him remember, like his time in the ring. He's like very.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's also just like thinking about like, could I Hulk out? I know Lash could Hulk through this, but could I? Maybe.
Yeah.
Can I still do it?
Yeah.
Viv is just following TK and looking at the snack spread.
Yeah, there's a lot of soy cheese. There's some soy crackers. There's some soy Iberico ham. It's actually better than it sounds. It's better than it sounds.
Do they feed the soy acorns?
They do. Yes,
Yeah.
they do. They strain the tofu. They strain the soy through a fine chestnut powder. Okay,
Nice.
Taylor, I think it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's okay? All right.
Yep. A youngish man with big floppy sandy blonde hair runs in through those accordion doors and says, everyone, listen up. They're ready to try the next method. The ceremony is beginning again, and they promise me less explosions." And then everyone
What are the
begins to move out back.
Californians?
Well,
Viv puts her hood up and starts heading out the door.
Okay. Yeah, everybody at this news, everybody sort of perks up. The people who are talking to one another make eyes at one another like, let's see how this goes. And everybody starts moving towards the backyard. How do you guys want to position yourself? It's clear that everybody sees these 3 people with the purple hoods as the focus. And you can see now that those 3 people, now that they have arranged themselves, find one particular tall gravestone to be their focus.
Is there a bar in the backyard?
There is a bar in the kitchen that's like right next to where the backyard is. So you can hang out. Yeah.
Yeah, he positions himself at the bar and tells the bartender, keep him coming.
Okay, the bartender...
And it's just watching. It's just watching.
The bartender does exactly that.
Viv is out, I guess, opposite of them, but far in the back of the crowd. And she still has line of sight on the 3 people.
Great.
Yeah, Lash is kind of positioning herself near Viv in case she needs any help.
Okay.
Lux is right behind Lash, peeking out behind her shoulder.
like through the crook in her armor.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the small back courtyard here, this little garden, there are a number of graves. And like I said, people are gathered around one specific one. It's kind of tall. That you...
Oh.
Are we good?
We lost your audio a little bit.
Keep going,
muted for a
big boy.
second.
We're good.
Am I good? Am I back? Okay, cool. A tall, like spire-like gravestone that sort of looks it's like a spire, but not quite.
Yeah, they showed him a picture of a spire, and they were like,
"Get abstract." And it's got a name very clearly cut into the stone, and that name is W.D. Gann, Gann, and the dates 1878 to 1955. And you can see that there is a small crater in the ground in front of this gravestone, and around the edges of that crater, a fine purple powder. Around you, there are a bunch of rich people, those 3 cops that you saw come up the pathway, 2 drones, and these 3 mages in their robes that you can see, like, now that you're close, they've got this pattern on them like they're the surface of the moon. They've got the phases of the moon printed in very ornate threadwork on the sleeves. They all have their hoods up. And there's 2 mages on either side of the monument, and then there's 1 mage in front. And the one that is in front reaches into his robe and pulls out a long, skinny vial with a rubber stopper in the top. And it's full of a dark red liquid. And he raises it above his head. And he sort of looks up into the sky, lowers it down in front of the gravestone, and he says, Mother Moon, grant us the divine knowledge and the cursed ability to use the blood that we may return to life this, your prophet. And in so doing, realize and understand your ways, your hold, your sways on the markets of man, on capital and its flows. And the other two mages, the other two guys get very solemn. They bow their heads. Everybody around you is holding their breath. They're like,
It's taking everything in Viv's body not to yell blasphemy.
Yeah.
So she's clutching Lash's arm.
Yeah, and Lash is whispering to Lux really as quietly as she can. They're like obsessed with this guy.
Lux is trying to hush her because it's not quiet at all. It's pretty much the only sound being made.
a stage whisper. What's their deal?
Yeah.
This guy
TK's
murmurs. Okay.
TK's just like he's just watching the drone and getting ready.
He murmurs, the guy in front with the vial murmurs a string of words very quietly and very quickly under his breath. You can't really hear them. He uncorks the vial. You can hear the sound. He pours a little bit on the ground in a circular motion. He puts it to his lips and he sort of takes a drink of it. And then he turns around to everybody and he beholds everyone, beholds all of these rich people. He's facing away from his co-summoners, facing away from the cops and their drones. He's facing towards these rich people and you. And he flicks the vial and he smatters everybody with a fine mist of blood. It's definitely blood. So you all now have flecks of blood on you. And he turns back around. He drops the vial. He puts his hands in front of his chest. The other two guys in the purple robes do the same. It's quiet. Nothing happens. Then the ground begins to shake a little bit, tremble. And the clouds part. And it's a clear night. You can see all of the stars and the moon. And it's huge. It's like it's too close to Earth. It's big. It's like it's looking at you, and it's bright orange, and it's right over the crowd. And you hear like a scratching sound and like a rustling sound. And the clouds start to gather back in again. And you can see just a sliver of the moon through a peak in between them. And then everything stops. And then a hand just comes up through the dirt.
Viv is trying not to freak out.
Yeah, TK finishes his drink. TK finishes his drink.
And a couple people around you drop their drinks. You can hear glasses clatter. You can hear a bunch of people go. And the two police officers who were talking to the young guy look at one another and they're like, Taylor, do you want to take it from the hand or do you want me to go first? Okay, all right.
I got you, baby.
All right.
Shortly after the hand bursts through, up comes the entire body, levitating over the crowd. It is a desiccated, decayed, mummified corpse of a man who had clearly been buried in sort of the wool men's suit of the time, but it had deteriorated away. All that remains is the collar, the necktie, and the rest of the suit hanging behind it like some sort of horrible cape.
Wow.
Its back arches, its arms are flung out to his side. He looks up at the moon and screams, "Into what strange new world have you wretches summoned me? Economist W.D. Gann!"
Like how he announces himself.
And then his eyes, like he looks down at the crowd, his eyes glow white, and suddenly a disc of astral power just explodes from his head. And all of you feel it, not just those who are awakened. If you like, but maybe Lash, you feel it the most, because this is like the most powerful intention of search you have maybe ever experienced. And it is somehow both astral and technological. So as a technomancer, this chills you to your core. Like, this is powerful shit. And you can almost see the streams of information answer like a radar from all over the world and flow back into this thing in a heartbeat.
Oh, so unspeakable datum. It's hard to describe. Like a giant, wide road, but instead of tar and paint, it is made of information yearning to be understood. And what's this? Magic is real. I was right. I knew it. And the moon, Mother Moon, I can hear her whispering the darkest, most forbidden secrets of every possible market fluctuation. The highs, the lows, the longs, the shorts, the ebbs and flows. At long last, the dawning of the financial age of Aquarius, and I will be its dark, unyielding, licensed fiduciary. He addresses the mages. For tearing me away from heaven. Yes, everyone, there is a heaven. And yes, everyone goes there. It's fantastic. I was just hanging out with Cleopatra and Hitler and River Phoenix. For tearing me away from that paradise. For that unforgivable crime, you will be punished.
And he just, I mean, and Viv, you can tell this is an extremely powerful telekinesis spell. That mage in the middle, he raises him up, and just with the tiny movement of his hand, that mage goes flying backwards through the crowd, knocking people through the doors, and hits the back of the front door and just falls. You can hear the bones break.
That went right past Viv.
Right past you. I mean, this guy was just
Viv.
like a bullet. And then he says,
But
for you, addressing the other two mages,
for bringing about my ascension and ultimate vindication, you two shall be rewarded by becoming one with the most important, tradable of all market commodities.
And then he flicks his wrists, and you can hear this strange organic squeak sound as the two mages' bodies take roots. Their heads are thrown back, and from their throat grows a beautiful, perfect, ripe ear of corn. And their bodies are subsumed into these constructed corn plants.
And now, let's ring the opening bell and create some liquid assets.
He points his hands, and lightning flies from his fingers right into the chests of the NYPD Incorporated police officers. And you see that they're briefly lifted off the ground. Their body is shaking, and they fall back on their feet. They raise up, and their eyes are beaming white lights. There is no expression on their face.
Oh, and now I must wane to wax again. Behold my exit strategy. Carry me, Mother Moon.
And he vanishes.
Everybody who is not screaming in pain on the ground because they've been thrown through a window or possessed by a risen economist fucking books it. They book it. All the rich people are like, we did not sign up for this. This was too much. And they clamor to go through the front door. Gan seems to have controlled two of the police officers, but the young guy managed to jump out of the way just in time. And he looks at his two friends who he thought was really cool. And they have dull purple glow in their eyes, and their faces are just kind of dead. And they have this distant, murderous, sort of slack-jawed look on their face. And Pedro just turns around and books it, follows everybody out the front door. And the two cops look at you guys.
Yeah, TK decides to take control of the drone and crash it into one of the cops.
All right,
he was waiting because he was waiting. He was like, I was like, there's a speech. This guy, maybe I have to crash the drone into this guy, but maybe it's these other guys. Maybe it's Pedro. Who knows?
Yeah. If you had crashed that drone during the speech, I would never forgive you as a friend.
Yeah, he was waiting. He was like, I want to hear what this guy has to say. Like he was very like I think on an aesthetic level, he was like, yeah, that speech was great. Like I love that. because he's a detached observer. He's not getting turned into corn or liquid assets. So yeah.
Okay, let's roll initiative, and then that will be
Yes.
the first thing that happens in initiative. So everybody, tell me what you got. We pre-rolled some of these, so
Viv got an 8.
okay.
A 0 on my D6, by the way.
13.
11.
Lux got 8.
Okay. So we're gonna call it a pre-initiative action that TK was just waiting for something to happen.
He was just waiting the whole time.
Roll. I mean, yeah, just roll. Unless you have do you have a pilot skill?
I have a pilot skill for rotorcraft, so I think drones maybe they don't.
Yeah,
necessarily.
This counts. Sure, this is a rotorcraft.
Right?
It's a small rotorcraft. I'm gonna allow it. Yeah, roll whatever your rotorcraft skill is. I'm sure it's enough dice.
I didn't pre-roll this because who thought there would be a drone? Like, look, rotary wing aircraft. It's a skill level of 1. No, wait. Yes, but it's like, so that's an extra die. So that's 2 plus reaction, right? Because like reaction is this. So that's 5. That's respectable. That's respectable. Hold on. You gotta give me a second.
Lux also has a pre-combat action, which is he does quickly go into his comm and buy some corn futures just in case. Just in case he meant that literally, that it was a good investment.
Corn has been illegal to put into food for like 75 years.
Yeah, but it's very cheap.
It's true. What'd you get?
2 hits. 2 hits.
So do you want to crash it into the tall cop or the beefy cop?
So I think TK wants to like fly it up and then crash it down into the beefier one, like aiming for his head.
Okay. Yeah, you very successfully do that. He rolled very, very poorly. And you crash the drone directly into his neck. And like knock him down, and he's not out, but he is not he's not doing well. He is also the first to act in initiative. So he is going to spend this round grappling with the drone you just threw at him.
TK's like,
the next person to act is the other cop, the tall, skinny cop.
Oh man,
Taylor, do you want to be that guy?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I have to tell you all something.
oh no.
I have already rolled for this action.
Oh shit.
I attack with the taser, and I glitch. Nice.
Oh.
So not even on a pre-roll does it work for you.
Now we got a fun city game.
I swear to God. Swear
incredible.
to God.
Does everybody know what a glitch is in the chat?
Yeah.
It's like the Shadowrun version of a nat 1. Did you get any successes?
Yeah, 1. Got 1.
So it wasn't a
4 1.
Yikes.
Was it a critical? It was just a regular glitch, not a critical glitch.
What's the difference?
A critical glitch, you get no successes.
Oh no! I got A6.
A6.
And
okay.
6, yes.
You go to tase whoever's closest to you. Which, like, I don't know, maybe it's Lash. And you take the taser out, and you push the button, and Mother Moon, she did not sign on for this. This is not what she intended to happen. She does not need people possessed in her name. Mother Moon is she's argumentative, but she is a very subtle operator. She likes to work in the shadows. This is her reputation. It's very strong. Glowing purple eyes is too far. And she's like, I'm not going to mess too much. It's not my job to mess, but like, I'm going to give myself 1. And like, a weird sort of diaphanous lightning just sparks out of the taser up through the sky, and like this cop falls to the ground. He is just struck from the heavens, and is incapacitated on the ground.
Oh.
Okay.
This is
Done.
before we even started.
Before you even start.
He actually melted himself.
Yep.
There you
No,
go.
he didn't. He
Now-
lightninged himself.
Now
he
T-
didn't melt.
He lightning.
TK has
Lightning.
his actual first action.
Sick. Yeah, I think what TK is gonna do, he's feeling pretty confident. I think he's probably gonna run up and like try and jump on the beefy cop on the ground and finish the job. He's going for just like a punch to the head.
Sure.
Jumping on him, decking him with that 6p metal arm. Shout out to you who knows Shadowrun. That is 4 hits. Give it to me, Mike.
Yeah, he's not, and he's having a hard time because he's also fighting this thing, so he's not going to get his full. Yeah, he only got 2 hits. So yeah, you connect. It's strength plus 6p. Is that what it is?
Yes. So
Yeah,
that's
so-
11.
Yeah,
Of
and he rolls
dice.
11, and he's got armor on. Doesn't matter. You managed to knock him unconscious. He's
Sick.
Still
Well, is he
alive.
unconscious? Because it is physical damage. Like that's the other thing about the modifications that TK has. He doesn't die, right?
yeah.
does
He's
he
not.
die?
He's not dead, but he's down.
He's dead. He's dead.
down.
Yeah.
You just like wail on him as the drone is like buzzing and burring in his face. There is one more drone that is in this yard that is going to go next, and it's going to scan all of you to see whether or not you have your own faces.
Our own what?
Your own
Faces.
faces.
Oh no.
I want to prove it to you that this actually happened.
Fuck him up.
Are you serious?
No.
You get that's triple. Holy shit!
Shut
triple
up!
glitch.
There it is.
This is not fair. Why we're gods?
Running
Why
in
are
the
we hemmed in by
shadows.
these horrible rolls?
Why do you guys
First of all,
always
it's the
glitch?
moon. It's the moon.
Thank you, Mother Moon.
I haven't even gone yet.
Yeah. They've all destroyed.
It mistakes Viv for its commanding officer,
Yes.
and like flies over to you and says, like, drone 69248 reporting for duty.
And she's taken aback by this, obviously.
Please,
He's like, yo,
please,
Viv, do the thing again. Do it again. Do it again.
please
Yeah.
pair.
Just did it. You can do it.
Attempting to connect with comlink, please allow pairing. Attempting to connect with comlink, please allow pairing.
Yeah, so she slaps on her broken sea star trode and is like, pairing.
Yeah, and your very expensive comlink knows exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, you now have full control over a drone. It's just yours.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
this did not go well for the
She's
universe.
the least technological person on the crew.
Yeah. TK is so proud of you. He's just like, yes, finally she'll get it.
Yeah, you were just
Technology is
closest, I
good.
guess.
Oh, yeah, and so she has her glasses on, and she's squinting in the AR, and do I open a tab?
We'll
Is it-
say in-game.
It's not
in-game
the
terms,
drone's turn right now, right? Or it
no,
is?
I mean with the
That
drone.
was the turn.
The drone is now your friend, so there are no more aggressors around.
Oh, you have
Wait,
a little drone friend.
The tall one? Oh, okay. We can. Okay.
Yeah, right. The
Got 'em
tall
all.
one.
Yeah,
the tall one
one's
got.
done.
The tall one
Right.
got smote.
Oh, Moon. I wasn't sure if he was down for the. Okay. Yeah. All right.
down.
Yes.
He's
Smote by
down.
the universe.
Yeah.
We got them all.
He okay, yeah, because who acts next? It's Lash. Yeah, the tall one is still conscious, and he's like, Lash, what do you do?
Lash goes over and takes the rope out of her bag and she ties him up. This
not
is
going-
what she does.
He's not going anywhere. Yeah,
Love tying people up.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Very
buy
Lash.
you can buy enough logic hits that.
Wait. Do I say? Is this when I say Shibari? Is this for the real heads in the real heads in the chat?
We were told
Yeah.
specifically this is a PG stream.
Okay. We started with jade eggs, please.
Okay.
Well-
sorry, Eric.
You shouldn't start with jade eggs. You should do like a ping pong ball and then work up to a jade egg. Or something.
Okay. All right. We haven't said the F word except for Taylor once.
Sorry.
I said it once too. I'm sorry. Oh God. All right. So now we are officially out of initiative. That went great for you guys. You now also realize that the mage that got.
Sorry, God in our chat just said you're
Yeah.
dead to me.
Yeah.
Namaste.
You can hear the mage that got thrown through the door, like calling for you. He's like, "Come, I have answers. You need to stop him. You have to stop him."
Lux goes over to this guy. He knows how this goes. He knows that this guy's going to be able to get 3 sentences out, and the most important thing is going to be the last half of the 4th sentence, and we're going to miss it. But he knows it's going to happen. But he walks over anyway, and he says, "What? Wait, how do we stop this guy?"
and he says, "We were afraid this would happen.
I know. Just get to it now.
Take, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this." No, he says, "Take this." And he reaches, like there's some of his stuff is just on the floor. It's fallen out of his pockets when he was thrown. And he's got another vial of blood. And this vial of blood has a neat little label on it. And it says H. George. And he says, "You're gonna need Henry George's help to stop him. And a magician of the earth to help. And you'll also probably need to beg the moon for forgiveness. You have to hurry. Gan, he's too powerful."
Yeah. He got it out. He got it out.
He got it out.
Way that you use it.
So that's H. George, an Earth Mage, and what was the other thing?
You're probably gonna need to beg the moon for forgiveness.
Oh yes, beg the moon. I have photographic memory, so I could say that to myself, and I always remember it. Okay, great.
Viv comes running up with the drone following her, and she's like really like uncomfortable with it. Like,
just wants to help.
Yeah, Lux, what's the deal?
Lux is actually he's got a single tear running down his face, not because he cares about the mage, but because this guy actually said what was important before dying. It's the first time it's ever happened in his life. And he says, "Okay." And he hands the vial of blood to Viv. And he says, "Okay, this is H. George's. We're going to need his help. We're also going to need the help of an Earth Mage. And we're probably going to have to beg the moon for forgiveness."
Oh, Earth Mage. Like that woman at the party?
Yeah, maybe she is an Earth Mage. She was doing stuff with dirt.
I thought that was an illusion.
Oh yeah. Who got her contact?
I do. So Lux dials her up. He has photographic memory, so he remembers her name, which is
Katya.
Katya.
Oh, I'm sorry.
With the K.
With the K.
It rings a bunch of times, but after a while, she answers and she goes, "Fuck! Dude, what? Who is it? What do you want?" And you can hear the chittering sound of rats. In
She's
the
still with the rats?
And she says, "You'd think we would have figured it out by now, but it's still happening."
Dirt in their mouths. So he's like, "Hey, this is Lux. We met at the party."
Yeah. What do you have a board meeting already?
No, it's not about that. We need you to stop this. All of this. The rats, everything.
What? How
Where
can
are you?
What? I'm back at the I'm back at the catacombs. I'm still there. I'm trying to get all the rats out so that they can close this place down.
Okay, stay there. We're gonna be there in a second. And
No, tell her to come over here.
Or come over here.
Yeah, just send me your coordinates and I'll come meet you.
Yeah, he does that.
Okay.
Viv is examining this blood vial, and she's trying to read the name. What is it again?
H. George.
H. George. Lash, do you think they have a map of this cemetery somewhere?
Oh yeah, I mean, I can look. I can do a little matrix search for you, unless you want to do that, Viv.
Oh,
Yeah, you got a drone,
I don't know
Viv.
how to do any of this.
Well, you have a drone.
It's just fun.
You got to know something.
It's funny how comfortable you are being followed around by like very dangerous water ladies. But like a drone, you're just like, I can't. This is too much.
She's baffled by technology.
So Lash goes and searches for a map of the cemetery.
Sure, yeah, easy to find. Yeah.
and she pops it over to Viv's comm.
And where would it show the gravesite of H. George?
Yeah, if you want to just do a search, for the gravesite of H. George, it's like a little bit. It's like probably a 5-minute walk north.
TK's just like the whole time he's walking this way. He's like, how did they get blood from a dead guy?
I know, right?
Where did that?
That's a good question.
Listen, man, they did surgery on a grape. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Oh. Boy in the
He's
bubble,
like-
baby with a baboon heart.
we're growing
All
ears
right.
on we're growing ears on rats, people.
It's really wrinkling his noodle. Like his brain's a little fried.
Listen, you don't know what Henry George and W.D. Gann were into in their living hours.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. What do you guys want to do?
No, I think it's canon that Alan Greenspan had a phylactery of every big 20th century.
That
That
sounds
is
like
canon.
canon.
Okay, so can we meet up with Katya?
Yes, after a few minutes, she shows up. She's got a big like pole in her hand, and she's like, "What do you need?"
Why is there a
Lux-
hole in your hand?
A pole.
Oh, I was like, what do you do? What?
Stigmata. It happens every once in a while.
Lux tells her what happened in as much detail as he can remember. And then he actually didn't die. He said we need an earth mage, and he said the whole thing. He didn't die in the middle of it or anything. And we need so that's I'm imagining you're an earth mage. Correct me if I'm wrong. We need the blood of H. George, which we have. We also need H. George himself, and we may need to beg the moon for forgiveness.
Okay, I can't help with the moon thing.
Okay.
I mean, you want me to do blood magic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, would
Thank you.
that be something you would be into doing for us?
Wait, no,
Don't-
we've literally never met, but we need this.
This is a lot to take in. I'm going to be honest.
Viv hands her the blood. It's like, I don't know how to do that.
Normally, I do illusions with dirt at parties for rich people.
Right.
I mean, we can try, I guess.
Listen, I wouldn't ask unless I was pretty sure that this guy who's awakened undead, he seems pretty bad. One of the baddest dudes I've ever come across.
Seems
she,
pretty cool, though. Pretty cool.
She looks at the dead cops in the backyard and says, "You sure he's bad?"
Yeah, that's
Good
And
true.
then Lux looks at her and goes, "He's an economist."
Okay, let's get on it.
And she's on board.
Viv has the coordinates and leads the way out the door, but do we pass Chester on the way out?
You tell me.
Do we pass Chester on the way out? Is he still
No, Chester has run away.
Oh.
He's a reasonable man. Okay, yeah, you leave the house and you sort of go out the front and around the back and in the direction of Henry George's gravesite. As you are traversing, again, this like sort of semi-unfinished landscape, this very naturalistic pastoral environment of Greenwood Island, you can see that there are some things around here that are unusual. There's a surprising amount of corn that's growing in these strange arrangements in like just in the environment. There's little bits of wheat here and there. If any of you were to look very closely at the ground, you might find trails of coffee beans now and again.
This is weird, guys.
So this guy's like dripping commodities. Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
He was an agronomist as well.
Yeah, all of the most influential markets of the early 20th century have made a spectral reappearance on the grounds of Greenwood Cemetery.
So we have a
Thought there
trail
were
we can
only
follow.
dead people.
Say it again.
We have a trail we can
trail.
follow.
Yes.
Yeah, but you also
Yeah.
you have
Well,
go ahead.
We have the
We have the
coordinates on
location.
the
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so you head your way. It takes about 5 minutes to walk there. Taylor, is there any like Gan in the background, or is he just like off causing trouble somewhere?
He's off causing trouble.
Okay, all right.
Do we pass that lake again, or
No, you're walking away from the catacombs.
walking away from it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Basically, you were equidistant at the house between the catacombs and Henry George's gravesite, which you get to. It's this 7-foot cube marble slab with a plinth in the center of one side of it, and on the plinth is a bust of a very like chiseled looking man with a very dramatic mustache, and his sort of like me in like 3 or 4 years, like a ring of hair, but then completely bald in the top. With like big mustache, big beard, and there are these 2 iron reeds on either side of him, and they both say progress across them, and it says
Both of them. Couldn't think of a second thing.
To be perfectly honest, I think on his actual gravestone, because these people exist, on his actual gravestone, I think it says, one of them says poverty and one of them says progress, because that's the name of his most famous book. But I think that's unclear to just drop on people. Like this man was trying to eradicate poverty, he did not think it was dope and part of progress.
Yeah, progress it.
Interesting. Yeah. I think TK's noodle is being wrinkled. He's like, I thought there were only dead people here. Like, why is there like this wasn't arable land, right?
And between the 2 wreaths, it says in big letters George, and underneath it says 1839 to 1897. And Katya is there with the blood, and she's like, I mean, okay, I'm gonna have to ask Sister Earth for help. Like, I don't know how to do this, and we're gonna need a lot of assistance. You're sure we need to do this?
Yes.
Mage says this is the only way.
Okay. Do any of you have mentor spirits that can help?
I do. And Viv is clutching. She wears a bottle of like a tiny vial of water around her neck, and she's clutching it, and she like rips it off her neck and busts it on the ground.
Okay.
And she just starts saying, Heavenly Mother, Almighty Sea Lady Mara Most High, and she's just chanting that over and over again.
And you hear a distant yet pervasive voice say, I'm not gonna do the thing because it's hard to understand, but what do you need?
Mother, I need your permission. We must commune with the moon and the earth.
I know them well.
Oh, wonderful. And she crouches down and is putting her hands in the water, and it's like rising up as she touches it. And that's kind of her way of calling mom.
And the sea goes, what is the nature of your challenge?
We must beg forgiveness from the moon and work with the earth to raise this man from the dead.
What the fuck? I mean, oh, dope. You must pay penance, but for this, I will assist. Yeah, she basically tells you're gonna have to pay for it later. You don't have to pay for it right now, but like she's gonna want something from you.
We're just leaving a little water in the well so you can subscribe at funcity.ventures and hear what that cost is going to be later, folks.
Yeah.
We got them.
And Viv is just like, has her hands over the puddle going, yes, yes, mom, yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Your mentor spirit says, I will discuss with Mother Moon. And so, you don't hear anything. You hear a light whistle of the leaves in the wind. You think you can hear some distant water lapping at the edge of Greenwood Island. But your mentor spirit has agreed to talk Mother Moon down and tell her that it's going to be okay. And Katya is standing in front of the grave, and she's got the blood in her hands pressed between her palms, and she says, Sister Earth, grant me the awful, awful power of the blood. Take into this your body. Take this into your body. Take this life force such that it could be reawakened in another body. Please absorb it back into the body from which it became and awaken that body so that we may vanish back to your depths and for safekeeping. And she looks at everybody. Who's the bad guy? What's his name?
WD Gan. WD Gan. Would the Gan.
WD Gan.
Would the.
And she uncorks it and she's like, I think this is what you do. And she just like pours it on the ground. And then she sits and she waits. And you hear a light rumble. The earth begins to sway and wave like it's water. And it parts. And it's like earth is rushing down a drain, like it's draining into the ground. A small ridge opens and forms a circle, and through that circle rises this gray, desiccated, arrow straight body. That bald guy from the statue with the large beard. He's like average height, wearing an all black suit, and he's got his arms crossed over his chest. And he floats silently, quietly, eyes closed above the ground. And he floats there for a moment, and he bobs. And the land closes underneath him silently, slowly. And he unfolds his arm and places them by his side. And his eyes pop open and they glow bright silver. And his skin like kind of lights up a little bit, like it's being lit by electricity from the inside. And he goes, "Who has summoned Henry George from his infinite communion with the land? And for what purposes?"
Yo, big HG. Yo, HG. We have a problem.
TK's still
the guy
drunk.
Gan with the Gan.
Gan.
Yeah, TK's hammered. He's having a great time. He crashed a drone into a cop and is just like, yeah, it's a great night. Great night in New York.
You peaked.
You speak of William Delbert Gan.
Yeah, Wood Gan. Wood Gan. Can you? He's up. Somebody made him alive again, just like you. Actually,
He has
very
risen.
strange. Yeah, can you deal with him?
Just
Go.
as I have always feared. Let's rock and roll. And
Go get him.
He rips the sleeves off of his suit, and he's fucking jacked.
Yes.
And
TK rips the
Katya's
sleeves off his robes, and he's also fucking
and
jacked.
also jacked. We've now sworn way too many times. I'm sorry. Oh, I feel bad.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Talk about jack dudes here. What do you want us to do?
Yeah, you guys just gun show at one another for a second. You and this economist that's been dead for like 142 years.
TK's like nice.
And he does the same thing that Gan did. You see like this disc of light come out from his eyes, and he's like, do you know where he is?
No.
I think he left a trail of corn and wheat and other commodities on the ground.
So Katya pieces out. She leaves. She's like, I don't want to see any part of this.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, don't.
Thank you, Katya.
She's like very apologetic. Yeah. Follow the. You want to follow the line of corn?
Yeah. Yeah. But TK looks at George and says, "Check this out," and grapples to the nearest tree.
That is, in fact, very dope.
Yeah.
Dope was also something people said in 1842.
We know. Yes, we know.
Okay. You follow the trail of weird spectral corn, and like you get to this clearing, and there's just you see a bunch of people from the party, and they're all here. Like, they've sort of come to this place, this other open place, to get away from the rats, and they're all just sort of like wandering around inside this corn. As you approach, you can see this gray spectral form of W.D. Gan, who is like near another cathedral that's a little bit further off in the distance. And he sort of like turns around and starts floating towards everyone, like he's sensed your presence. and he's approaching. If you walk towards him, you and he will meet in a cornfield that he appears to have just planted.
Is H. George kind of floating in front of us? Like he's leading the charge?
Yeah, he's like sort of
Okay.
he's like a foot off the ground and sort of bobbing and floating right next to you. And he says, how do you want to skin this cat?
Do you guys have a special way that you fight or argue over economics?
Yeah, do we need to set up like a PowerPoint projection screen?
Is this going to be a debate?
Yeah, we have a special way that we discuss things.
Rap battles.
We talk about nets and gains.
Okay.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Yeah, do you guys run headlong into battle?
Yeah, 100%.
I think we got
let's
it.
go.
Juiced up on booze.
Does Henry George have an approach? Sorry, WD Gann, my bad.
Oh, I think that they're gonna come across him in the cornfield,
Okay, so you guys rush forward into the cornfield and
you break into this large circular clearing, where like the corn has been grown and bent to form all the signs of the zodiac along the outside of the ring, and in the center of it, Gann is sort of floating 2 feet off the ground, and he's holding a comm link, like a comm device in his hand, and in the other hand, he's levitating the guy with the yellow hair from the party that announced to everybody that they're ready to go again. And Gann is saying, "Give me your password to your Robinhood account now!"
Awful.
I'll use the carrot or the stick. I'll kill you or give you 5% off the back end of any gains I make.
And as he's doing this, George puts a hand out and says, "Gann, this ends now."
George! You would know when something's ending if there was a clear sell sign in the candle graph. Margins!
You will return to the land that birthed you and never should have. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm at a 10.
9.
11.
A 9.
Well, Viv, what was Viv?
11.
11. TK 9?
9.
9. Gann?
It's looking like 17.
Jesus.
You sure?
17.
Yeah, my initiative is 26 plus 1d6.
Damn.
So it would be 26 plus the face value of a d6.
So you
Oh,
sent
I
your
don't.
17.
So I rolled 26 die for no reason.
No, yeah.
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 Shadowrun, I love you. 30. It's 30, not 17.
I hate this game.
Yeah.
I love this game.
30. My god.
He rolled a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how does my drone play into this?
Oh yeah. Your drone's initiative is, hold on, let me just roll it.
Amazing.
Is 15.
Ah, cute.
Hi.
Forgot
That's
about your
adorable.
Yeah. Okay. Keep in mind that the this is a police drone, and the police drones have been up to some stuff lately. Just a reminder of what a police drone might be capable of in this situation. The first person to act is Henry George.
Oh,
Hey.
Get fucked. Wait. Sorry.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
A rated R stream
Could-
now.
Could everybody please roll body?
Ooh.
Everybody.
me too.
Oh no.
Oh shoot.
Viv glitched. She got 1 hit.
Boy.
No, not Gann. Everybody else.
1 hit.
1 hit. 1, 2.
3 hits.
One.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 with a glitch.
Okay.
1 hit. No
Um,
glitch.
Gan, can you roll reaction plus intuition?
Yes. Oh, geez. I have a pound of dice I keep by my desk, and I had to pull out all the d6s for this bad boy.
He's got a big
Very bad
body.
boy.
All the bad boys.
8 hits.
Okay. Okay, you lost by 2. Hold on, let me do some math here.
That's a lot of math he's doing.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
The numbers are
Good
big.
TV.
Okay. Henry George raises, sort of floats a little bit higher, parts his arms, and like brings his arms further in, and you all sort of feel in this moment, you all feel like a little bit more stable and a little bit stronger, and you feel kind of like you're a part of something, and that if you work together, anything is possible. And you can feel the ground underneath you start to wave a little bit, and it starts to like kind of swell, and it just like it rises up, and Gan just gets caught in a wave of earth that just hits him right in the chest. It's like getting hit with a wave at the beach, but this is ground and dirt. And unless, I don't know what your soak would be, but your starting is 14 physical damage.
Oof. DK says,
All right.
the means of production. It's so beautiful.
Viv is impressed.
Yeah.
To be clear, Henry George and Marx did not get along. They thought Marx thought Henry George didn't go far enough, and Henry George thought that all of Marx's ideas would lead to dictatorship.
And here we are under capitalism.
Yeah.
So that's all physical damage to me, Mike. None of that. I can't push any of that into like stun or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, you could roll. You probably have a soak, so you would roll your body to reduce it. But if you're gonna buy those hits, you could probably reduce it by 7 or 8.
Okay, I'll do it.
Great.
Meanwhile,
Next,
in the chat, Captain Mochi just said the memes of production.
Yes.
Shout out.
shout out.
Sorry, go on.
Big shout.
The next to act is WD Gam.
Oh, baby. Ouch! Ow! Oh, like an hour ago, I was in heaven. Don't forget, this is a kind of hell for me. But you, George, you're dominated by a strong will, tactfulness, and great organization skills. Typical Virgo. And then I cast. Let's see how you do without your friends. And then I cast influence on Viv.
Oh.
This power gives the critter, which is me, the ability to exert its own will over a target character. It implants a suggestion in the target's mind.
No.
Make an opposed test using my magic and charisma. Oh
no.
So many dice.
Oh, no.
Versus, shit, I lost my, darn it, I lost my place, kids. Stay in school, but don't go to school this year.
Oh God, the world is too complicated.
Viv, willpower and logic.
Willpower and logic. Let's see.
Viv,
Oh my God. She got she got 6 hits.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Good. That's great.
That's great. But like he's rolling so
But
many
he's rolling
dice.
high.
Yeah, well.
Wow, no one's ever tried to control Viv.
Yeah, how many more minutes do we have left?
I got
5.
10.
10.
Okay, great.
I rolled a
can do
9,
that.
straight up contest. I win. Viv, you are overcome with the urge to use whatever power at your ability to attack your friends.
Oh no.
Wow.
The next thing to act is the drone, and the drone is asking Viv, like, aggressor detected. What would you like? Like, tell me what to do. What would you like? Aggressor
Viv
detected.
just
Wow.
screams, "I'm sorry!" And the drone goes after Lash to tase her.
Lash roll reaction plus intuition.
Sure. I have Sorry.
God, if Taylor wins for the first time on stream, I'm gonna be so upset.
Two hits.
Yes.
Okay, the drone only got 1 hit, so you success. It like sort of buzzes by you and tries to get at you with a little a lighted prong on the end of one of its arms that pops out of it, but it misses you.
Lash jumps over it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you want to do backflip?
Yeah, I do a backflip over it.
From a distance, the cornfield, you just see an orc go. Yeah, stop me if you want to add flourish. I'm just trying to go fast.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Viv is next.
Oh, no. She's screaming, "Get away from me! Get away from me!" And she casts Mana Blade.
Fuck.
And she is wicking all of the sweat that is coming off of all of the corn and off all of the bodies to gather water around her. She happens to be standing over the Cancer sign of the crop circle because that's her sign. She's a crab. But she got 3 hits on a Force 3 Mana Blade.
And that takes your turn to cast?
Yes.
That's a complex, right? Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. So you have these spectral sort of like watery blades under your control.
Yeah, she's wicking all this water from the corn and she's screaming, "Get away from me! I'm not in control."
Next to act is Lash. Yeah, Lash. Viv is shouting at you, and there are 2 dead but risen economists who are casting spells.
Lash
You hear Gan say,
That's what I call market competition.
Lash doesn't completely get it. She's like, Viv, you feeling okay? You're a little
She's just
confused.
going, "No.
And Lash decides to take because she's like doesn't know really what to do, so she grabs a piece of corn that's besides her, and she just throws it at this bad dude.
All right, yeah. Roll your agility, unless you have a I don't
And
think.
she's aiming straight for his mouth. Okay, she's like,
okay, sure.
just trying to throw it into his mouth, trying to make him
Into his
choke.
mouth. Yeah.
It has been open wide and quite a bit. So
Yeah. Okay, and she rolls. She's gonna roll she got 2 hits.
Taylor rolled a dodge. 1 hit.
One hit. Corned right in the mouth.
Yeah, there's a piece of corn in your mouth. I mean,
Well, she's aiming for the throat. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Can you choke a ghost?
I don't.
he's got a body. He's a lich. He's got a body.
Yes, that's
Oh,
true.
he's
Yeah,
got
he
a
is. Yeah.
body.
And it
But he
seems
doesn't
like
need to breathe,
needs,
right?
and it seems like he needs to talk in order to do anything. So.
Ouch.
Galaxy brain.
Making
Yeah.
it personal.
I mean, I guess also you take 2 damage. Like, sure.
Oh, whoa. Okay. He's not looking good.
Taking out my corn.
I guess that 14 was pretty serious.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, Lux and TK act at the same time. We have 5 minutes.
I think TK is extremely excited because this is like, oh yeah, I got fucked up. I grappled a lot. I hit a guy with a drone. Now there's like a lich battle. Let's go. So he wants to use his grapple hand to get closer to George and then punch him in the dome. Just right in the dome.
Yes.
To Gan.
Or yes.
Yeah.
Gan.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gan. Sorry.
Yeah,
They're the
yeah.
same person. They're the same dead white guy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Roll your melee combat.
Let's see here. 3 hits.
Roll to dodge, Gan. This dude with a metal arm is kind of tipsy, but he's got a metal arm, so that's kind of
He's
scary.
yelling. He's like, "Woo!" He's having a great time.
You see the corn parting as this man approaches you.
I got 4 hits.
Damn. All right.
Yeah,
I guess-
he's fast.
Yeah, and TK's also drunk.
You sort of like stumble a little bit. Lux, it's your go.
Lux has no ability to fight. He has some spray, but he chooses not to use it. He just on a whim goes into his comm, pulls up Progress in Poverty, and begins reading an excerpt from it as though it may work as some sort of incantation to bring down this hard-headed capitalist.
Or maybe provide some inspiration points to Henry George.
Or just, maybe just take now some hard-headed businessman who has no theories but knows how to make money. Say to him, here's a little village. And on he goes, recanting some of the more popular excerpts from
the tenets of Georgism.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't care if it's turned. Gan is hit. The light in his eyes goes red, and he's screaming, and the corn's just sort of bobbling in his mouth, and he's screaming and gesticulating. You've hit him where it hurts psychologically, and he's not even floating anymore. Now he's stomping towards you like a regular angry man.
Okay, so now we're at the top of the turn order, and for convenience, we're not going to re-roll, which means that Henry George goes next. And so Taylor, I'm going to need Gan to roll magic plus charisma.
That's a lot of dice.
Yeah.
Just like
Magic
maybe
plus
too
charisma.
much. We got like 2 minutes.
Yep, we got it.
Boss fight.
Yeah.
Bosses fighting bosses.
Yeah.
I'm counting as quick as I can.
I like that we're just like sort of sidelined.
Yeah.
Lash throws coin. Lux reads.
Yeah. What can we do?
They're just screaming about not hurting us. Extremely good.
Okay, I know how many hits I got.
I know also how many hits I received.
I got 14 hits.
Oh.
I got 5.
What?
Oh.
I got 5.
Holy moly. Okay.
I rolled 24 dice.
Wow.
That's not good.
I guess
It's unlikely.
You also were. I should have told you. Like, you're at a detriment, right? Because of how mad you are. Like,
Yeah,
you should have only rolled 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's distracted. He honestly.
George begins to spin his arm in a circle in front of him, and he also comes down onto the ground, and he's standing in the corn, and he starts to spin his arm around, and the corn sort of starts to wiggle like it's in a breeze, and then it starts to lay flat, and it starts to part in front of him, and the corn actually gets like sucked into the ground, and you can see the stalks being pulled in as he spins and spins, and he stops, and he makes a smaller and smaller motion until he's like holding in front of him, just like his hands are in this circular shape, and he's just concentrating on the circular shape, and you can see that in front of George is happening the thing that happened in front of his gravestone, where the earth just sinks into itself like water, like a drain, and some of the corn is being sucked into it, and Gan is just so mad. He's stomping forward, and he's coming straight at them, and he's going to get them, and the spinning whirlpool of earth just grows and grows, and it just sucks Gan right in, and he gets pulled down into it like a rubber ducky going down the drain.
Yeah, but like one of the times when he's spinning right in front of you and you can see his face, it almost slows down a little bit, and you can hear him say, "Well, you know what they say. Buy low, sell, die." And then right down the drain.
And George goes, "Guess he paid his land tax."
Ooh.
All the corn disappears as Gan is sucked underground. Who knows what Sister Earth is going to do with him? And Yuri is just there, and he's been just in the corn. He was just sitting somewhere in the corn, looking at his hands.
There's also an ear of corn in his mouth.
Yeah, new texture.
Viv, meanwhile, has had her arms up, and there are these water daggers she was about to send to everybody, but they quickly evaporate into the air, and she just relaxes. It's like,
Your mind feels very clear. Yeah, you are not under the spell anymore.
Lash walks over to Yuri and says, well, Yuri, once again, we did the job.
You gonna pay us, bro?
Wait, what job? Say again.
You know, the job that you asked me to do. What did it start
I'm
with?
on so much. I'm on molecules of things I don't understand. I asked you to do a job at party. Not sound like me. Bye.
he's not going to pay us.
You know, I mean, I told you guys I did not settle on a price beforehand.
TK,
It's true.
TK sends an invoice because we obviously have a template, and he's just like, he writes in an amount. And he's like, yeah, and just sends it off and says he'll get it tomorrow.
Lux
job,
turns
team.
to
We did it.
Wait, I want to know. I want to know who Lux turns to.
Yeah.
Lux turns to Ace George and says, "Thanks so much, Mr. George. Is there anything you'd like us to do in your steed? I imagine you're going to go back to the happy place."
Be gentle stewards of the land, and then he just gets sucked back underground.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. He goes,
Yes.
women can vote now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank God. And then goes back underground.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Nice work, T. Sorry we had to rush it at the end there. But nice work, everybody. And thank you again, Eric. And thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Yay.
Good night, GenCon.
Yay, GenCon.
Yeah.